If you're thinking about starting a car rental business or thinking about renting out a car, please watch this video first. In this video, I'm gonna break down on how to buy the right vehicle all the way down to when giving that key to a client. Pretty much talk about the risk management of this business. I've been doing this for 5 years and I've rented out all types of cars, and everything I'm about to tell you is from my experience. When buying the right vehicle, there's a few things that you need to keep in mind. One, you need to know what city that you're in and what the market wants in your city. For example, I'm in South Florida. I'm like an hour away from Miami, and everything in Florida, people like drop top cars, sports cars, luxury, and exotic cars. This is the market for South Florida. They want the nicest cars. If you're in a market, maybe it's a slow economy, or if it's like a snowy state, then maybe like SUVs works in your city, or maybe like economy cars works in your city. So first, before you buy your first car, you need to know what your market wants. I'm gonna just keep it simple and talk about Florida because that's where I'm at. I in Florida, people like AMGs and competitions, Corvettes, Maybachs, Lamborghinis, all the nice cars you could think of. If I'm helping somebody get a vehicle to rent out, first things first, I'm gonna break down a list of cars that people would want to rent, like the top 10 cars that's in demand. So we're gonna go with like the Lamborghini Urus first, the GLS Maybach, a M3, M4, M8, you know what I'm saying, like a GLE 63S or a GLE 53. That's the type of cars that people want out here in South Florida. Now, when purchasing your cars, the trim matters, but it don't matter too much, if that makes sense. Let's just say if you want to get like a GLE 63S, the trim don't really matter as much on a GLE 63S because what sells for that car is the V8 engine. That's a V8 engine in that GLE. So you don't have to get like a carbon fiber trim and like deck it out as much as possible because the V8 pretty much do all the selling for that vehicle. Maybe if you get like a GLE 53, then the colorway and the trim matters more because of GLE 53, it will still do good, but it's a V6, it's an inline 6, you know what I'm saying? The trim don't really matter as much depending on the vehicle. Now, when purchasing your first vehicle, I recommend that you get like a vehicle that's already depreciated. I don't recommend people getting brand new cars because I think it's stupid. When renting out vehicles, if you could find a vehicle anywhere from like 2023 till 2025 with about 5,000 to 10,000 miles, you're in the green. Like Corvette, you can find a Corvette, like a 2024 Corvette convertible with about 10,000 miles on the dash, right? That's a good deal. They should go for around like $60,000. I would recommend that you just keep that car for like a year or two and then just sell it. Now, before you buy that vehicle, what I recommend a lot of people to do is get pre-approvals. So if you're somebody that has great credit, 700 to 800 credit score, I recommend you get a pre-approval with your personal bank or a credit union. That way the buying process is much smoother. That way you don't have to go to the dealership and the dealership put your credit to like 5 different banks. If you could get a pre-approval from your personal bank or a credit union, it's the best option to go. Now, if you're buying this vehicle out cash, this step doesn't apply to you. You go to the dealership and buy it out cash. And honestly, I think buying out cash is actually way better because you don't have no loan on your back or nothing like that. Everything you make on that vehicle every single month, rental wise, is all profit. Now, another thing, before you buy that first vehicle, I always recommend people to get a pre-purchase inspection, meaning you hire a mechanic to check out that vehicle's condition for you, especially if you're buying an exotic vehicle. If you're buying a Lamborghini Urus or a McLaren 720S, you definitely need a pre-purchase inspection just to make sure that everything is functioning right in that vehicle. Now, let's say you purchased your first vehicle, congratulations. Now, there's a few things that you need to do to prep that vehicle before you rent it out. First things first you need to do is you need to have a tracker and a kill switch installed in that vehicle. Trackers and kill switch, guys, will save you a lot of money and headaches from clients. You just need to know where your car is at all times. I don't recommend you trust the manufacturer trackers that's installed on the vehicle. That's not enough. You need to know how fast the client is going. You need to know like the history, where they was at like maybe 2-3 hours ago, just in case. And you need to have like a kill switch installed in that vehicle just in case you need to kill the vehicle. When I first started my business, there was this one guy, he just avoided trackers and kill switches because I guess they cost too much. It's not too cheap, but it's not pricey at the same time. Out of all the cars I managed, his cars was the only cars that would get into accidents, all types of inconveniences with his cars because he just avoided trackers. Everybody else's car was good. It was safe because I could see where the car is at all times. And again, this was when I first started, so I didn't know no better. Before you rent out your vehicle, you must install trackers and a kill switch. Now, if you don't know anybody, I recommend you check out Gold Star, TrackHawk, iTrack. You know what I'm saying? These are very good sources when it comes to tracking your vehicle and installing a kill switch. The second thing I recommend is having a rental agreement contract in play. That way, just in case some bullshit happens with the client, you have a written rental agreement that the client signed. That way, you know, you can protect your car and yourself for any inconveniences. If you need a rental contract, you could just literally type it up on ChatGPT or Claude and have them write you a rental agreement. It's pretty simple. Now we're moving on to screening your clients. Now this step is very important. This is the risk management side of things. This will either make or break your business, okay? So you have to pay attention here. Before you hand the keys to the client, there's a few things that you need to do. The first thing that you need to do is collect driver's license and insurance from the client. When checking the driver's license, I recommend you rent out to 21 and up, preferably. Some people rent out to 18-year-olds and up, 19-year-olds and up. Sometimes I do it too. I'm just being honest, but it depends on their driving history and their insurance. You need to check if their driver's license is valid and not suspended. You can check that on Google. Just type in Florida driver's license check or your state driver's license check, and it should tell you. And then second thing you need to check is their background check, just to make sure you're not giving your key to like a felon or a person that did Grand Theft Auto a year ago. You need to make sure you do your risk management, because that's how you could either grow your business or fuck your business. Excuse my language. Then once all that is green, you need to verify the client's insurance. Now, when you're renting out luxury and exotic cars, you need to verify the client's insurance. I've done seen people do no insurances on their exotic cars, which I don't recommend because that's a big risk. If you want to do it, that's on you. I recommend you just verify the client's insurance. Now, what you want to look for in the client's insurance, I recommend you just call the insurance carrier agent, call them on the line, and just verify the coverages. Ask to see if the policy is currently active. Ask to see if the persons that's on the license is listed on a policy. Ask to see if they have full coverage insurance, like comprehensive and collision coverage, and ask to see if they transfer to rental vehicles. If the agent says no to any one of these, then you can't go with the rental. They have to say yes to all of them. Insurances that you want to kind of look out for is the Geicos, the State Farms, the Progressives. Like, those insurances are great. 9 times out of 10, they cover rentals. You want to make sure you ask those questions to make sure that your car is protected on the road with the client. Another thing too that is important is you must charge a security deposit. A security deposit is basically collecting like $1,000 from a client or $2,000 from the client, depending on the car, just in case the car come back like with a minor damage, like a rim rash, a little dent on the door, or whatever the case may be. That way you could use the security deposit to cover that damage, or even inconveniences. Let's just say the customer got the car towed because they parked in the wrong parking. That could cost. So you could use the security deposit to cover that. Or let's just say, the client is returning late, or the gas, was not at a full tank, or the gas wasn't at the same level when they returned it, or they smoked in the vehicle. That security deposit will cover all those inconveniences. So you must charge a security deposit. I charge security deposits from $1,000, but I done seen some people charge $1,500 or $2,000 depending on the car. Let's just say if you're renting out like maybe a 720S, McLaren 720S, that's an expensive ass car, and that car is fast, right? And that car is super sensitive. $2,000 or maybe $3,000 is reasonable. But let's just say you're renting out like a GLE 53 or Corvette C8, then $1,000 is reasonable. Now, when you are doing a car drop off to the client, you met up with the client, there's a few things that you need to do before giving the keys to the client. And this is after you make sure the client's license is valid, no crazy background history, and their insurance is fully covered. Before you meet up with the client, you must do all of them. Don't let the client tell you, hey, can we do this in person? And I want to see the car. From my experience, guys, that's a waste of time. You don't need to meet up with the client to do all that. That just takes time, and you will waste time if the client insurance doesn't transfer. That's why it's good to communicate through the phone or via text before the rental to verify if the client's even qualified to rent out the car. That way nobody's time is wasted. Let's just say the client checks out and you are meeting up with the client to do the drop off. Before you do the drop off, you need to take pictures and videos of your car. I prefer you take pictures of your car horizontally, like this. Like, say if you got an iPhone, horizontally, not vertically, horizontally. You need to take the front end of the car, the side view of the car, the rear end of the car, the tires, the tire thread, and on the inside too. You can take videos too. You can take a live video of the car, but I think for insurance purposes, when filing a claim, I think it's better if you take horizontal picture of each side of the vehicle. Also, track down the mileage. So take a picture of the mileage and take a picture of the dash before you give the keys to the customer. Now, when the customer arrives, obviously the customer that made the reservation, that gave you the license, should be present for the car. And one thing that you need to do is you need to trust your judgment, trust your gut, because sometimes everything could check out right, but you could probably feel some type of funny business going on. Like, I remember one time I was doing a drop off. This person that he hit me on Instagram. Most of my clients come from Instagram. He hit me on Instagram, and on the Instagram, it was like a dark-skinned, skinny dude. He sent me the license, and the license was another guy. I didn't kind of pay no mind, but I peeped it. So long story short, when I met up with the client, it was a guy that was on the license. I told him like, hey, the Instagram name you was texting me from is a whole different person, and you sent me like, you know, a different license. And then when I told him that, he was kind of like stuttering a little bit, like he kind of felt shook. And that's when like it kind of confirmed. I'm like, okay, so this is not you. So I was like, you know, if this car's not for you, bro, you can be honest with me. Like I kind of put his guard down and like told him like, yo, like, is this for your friend? Like, what's going on? Eventually the truth came out, and then he went and got his friend, and then it was a dark-skinned skinny guy that was on the Instagram, came out around the corner, and you know, they told me it was for him. Apparently the dark-skinned skinny guy didn't have no license. I think he had like an Anchor monitor on. I'm like, nah, I can't do this, you feel me? If you feel some type of funny business, guys, it's okay to ask questions like, hey, what you getting a car for? What's the occasion? It's okay, because you're giving your customer $100,000 car or $200,000 car or a $300,000 car. So you want to make sure that, you know, you vet out your clients and you kind of use your judgment. If you feel some type of funny business, ask questions, go based off that. Now, 8 times out of 10, if they're renting out a high-end luxury exotic vehicle, you will attract only quality clientele. If they're renting out a 720S or Lamborghini Urus, most likely you're gonna attract a good quality clientele. And when you meet up with that client, you can kind of tell like that person mean business. You know what I'm saying? And you will know when a client is actually legit when they ask you the right questions, like what kind of gas does it take, or what's the return time, or if they actually take videos and pictures of the car themselves, which I recommend you tell the client too. If they ask you kind of like questions about the rental, then that's a green light. God forbid, let's just say the client calls you mid-rental, they got into an accident or whatever the case may be. So don't panic, okay? Don't panic. This is a car rental business, so you kind of have to have the mindset that this can happen and will happen, and it's about how you handle it. Let's just say, you know, the client got into an accident. First thing first, you want to make sure the client is okay. Is anybody hurt? Is everybody okay? Ask that question. Just breathe. Take a step back, breathe, and ask a question. What you want to make sure is you just tell the client to take pictures of everything. Take pictures of the damage, the scene, the other person's, you know, license plate, their insurance, their license. Make sure you have everything collected. Let's just say the client have full coverage insurance. You have nothing to worry about. Honestly, this could be a potential way to make thousands of dollars on a claim. I'm not making no promises, but honestly, like if the client have full coverage insurance, there's nothing to worry about. I just recommend you just hire a lawyer that can handle the claim for you. I don't recommend you do the claims yourself unless you know how to do it. Maybe you're a specialized person that know how to do it, but just hire somebody like a lawyer that knows how to do this type of situation, and then just have them handle the claim. And that's pretty much how you handle if something goes bad on the road. Now, if the car comes back and there's like maybe a rim damage or like maybe a small dent or some type of inconvenience, that's why you have the security deposit to pretty much just cover that inconvenience. Let's just say, you know, the client went over miles by like 50 miles and he charged $2 a mile. You could just charge accordingly. This is for people that's thinking about the car rental business. They want to join the car rental business, but they don't know what to do on how to do it. Hopefully this video helped. So before you rent out your vehicle, this video should give you an idea on how to work everything. Now, I help people make money with their vehicles. I have my own car rental business out here in South Florida. It's called Dud Rents, and I pretty much been doing car rentals for about 5 years now. I'm at a point where I just help people make money with their vehicles. I help people get vehicles, the demanding vehicles in South Florida. I added them onto my fleet. I manage the cars for the owners and investors, and I rent it out to my clientele, and I help the owners and investors make passive income every single month, completely hands-free. I've helped countless of car owners earn thousands of dollars every single month. And if you want to be part of this opportunity where you want to invest in a vehicle and be hands-free and let me run the whole show for you, I could do this for you. There's a link that came with this video in the description. Just click it, apply to book a call, and I got you. Without further ado, guys, this is it for today's video. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. Peace.